Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. I'm your host, Javon Harrington, back to hit you with another video. And folks, the time has now come. An event that you all have been anticipating and waiting for well over a year now, when we first started with What If Deku Was a Power Ranger, all the way up till now. I like to say that just like Marvel and how they have their phases, you could say that this week we are concluding phase 1. That being of Heroes of the Morphing Grid, with the first movie, Shattered Grid, based off of the Shattered Grid storyline from the Power Rangers comics. After 7 series, almost 100 videos, and a year's worth of time, we've now reached the end. This is a pretty big moment for me personally on this channel, because this is something that I've put a lot of work into. You know, like I've always said, I didn't plan for this to be a multiverse story. I just thought that I could do individual Power Ranger stories, but then I thought about it and I figured this could be an opportunity. Because Lord Draken was originally going to be a villain, but it was only going to be for My Hero Academia. He was supposed to be the final villain for that series. But then I thought about it, and I decided to make a few changes. We've added some teams along the way, from the Neon Genesis Evangelion Power Rangers Zeo, Konosuba Power Rangers Mystic Force. We've done Jujutsu Kaisen Power Rangers Jungle Fury, Naruto Shippuden Power Rangers Ninja Storm. We've done Fire Force Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, and we've even done a special hybrid combination between Super Mega Force, One Piece, and the Sentai that is based on Gokaiger. So now that we have come to this point in the series, I simply want to say thank you to everyone who supports PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Everyone who likes, comments, subscribes. I read every single one of them. I try to get through all of them as much as I can. All of your support, it truly means a lot to me. For us to get to this point, for us to get to this part in the story, it is truly amazing to see just how far we have come with this channel and just how much farther we can go. So now, as we conclude phase 1 of Heroes of the Morphing Grid, just know that this is not the end. Some stories, they will continue, some sooner than others. New ones will come along the way, and there will be much more to the journey. But as always, thank you all. And now, without further ado, let's get into today's special. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All of the Rangers that had been gathered together at Time Force headquarters were sitting in a large round hall. All 7 teams were sitting amongst themselves and looking at one another rather nervously, mainly because they were a colorful bunch, to say the least. After all, we are talking about 7 different Ranger teams across from 7 different dimensions, each one unique and special in their own way, having gone through their own hardships, or hardships still yet to come. For some, their stories had come to an end. For others, their stories were far from over, and others, they were uncertain about the future. But right now, none of that truly mattered, because they were all gathered here for one reason, and one reason only. They had come together to fight against an enemy far greater than any one of them could have comprehended on their own. And that was saying a lot for a few of them. The leader of Time Force, Jen Collins, or the Pink Time Force Ranger, would make her way and introduce herself. She explained what Time Force was and how they had all been brought here, but most importantly, they had to focus on the main objective at hand. The simple fact of the matter was that Lord Draken was a problem for Time Force. A problem on a scale that could not easily be quantifiable. For one, he was difficult to track, to say the least, mainly because his cloaking technology was on par with some of the best that they had ever seen. But there was also the fact that they were fighting a war that was unlike any other. A large monitor in the middle of the room would reveal various skirmishes that were taking place across the multiverse. There was a group of samurai Power Rangers fighting on a water planet. There were another group of Mystic Rangers, a group of SPD Rangers, mixes of different battalions fighting against Ranger Guards and other monsters and foot soldiers from various histories in the Power Ranger lore. From everything that they could possibly see, it looked as though Lord Draken had been attacking many other worlds as he said he was going to. This was the main issue for Time Force. Even with the technology and the resources at their disposal, they were still being worn pretty thin. This led to a few questions among many being asked. Who was Lord Draken? What exactly was he trying to do? And just how on earth was it so hard to beat one evil ranger? Well, Jin had to explain even further. Lord Draken came from an alternate universe. A universe where a man by the name of Tommy Oliver betrayed his fellow Rangers, taking the power of both the Dragon Coin as well as the White Tiger Coin. He merged their powers together to become something greater. Studying under the evil sorceress Rita Repulsa, he conquered his Earth and amassed his forces, slowly corrupting the Morphing Grid itself, gaining more allies and followers along the way, to the point where he was able to create and amass for himself an army of some of the Power Rangers' most greatest of foes and adversaries. Even the likes of Lord Zed were now under his command, all for one singular purpose. He wished to find the source of the Morphing Grid, the very core itself. If he could find it and tap into its power, he could become like the god of the grid. The Morphing Grid was something greater than any universe in particular. You could say that it was the outskirts of all existence, in which all other universes make up its system. A better way of describing what the Morphing Grid was, in terms of its scope, it would be like a bowl. And inside of the bowl, there would be tiny, tiny pebbles. And each pebble was a different multiverse. So now you could understand why conquering the multiverse would be very difficult, going from pebble to pebble. But his main goal was to find the actual bowl itself, because once he could control that, everything inside would be under his command. Jen would also go on to explain even further that the one of whom that had brought them all together, Izuku Midoriya, he was very keen with his team in helping, mainly because the source of their power was actually connected to the universe where Lord Draken came from. In fact, the coin that Izuku used was the one that Tommy had used in the beginning when he was the Green Ranger. Because of this, they could use their power to track Lord Draken, since the two were connected in a sense. But before they went even further, she thought it would be good if everyone introduced themselves. And, well, it would be a riot to say the least, as Izuku made his way. Hi everyone. I'm Izuku Midoriya. I'm the Green Ranger. From my world, we have heroes who have powers that they're born with called quirks. When I used my Ranger power, I was actually quirkless in the beginning, but somehow connecting to the morphing grid caused my recessive quirk gene to surface, and I gained the flame quirk. I've also inherited another power from my sensei. He's a pro hero named All Might, and I also now have the power of One for All at my disposal, although I'm still learning how to use it. Yeah, alright. My name's Katsuki Bakugo. Mighty Morphin Red, Tyrannosaurus. Shoto Todoroki. Mighty Morphin Black, Mastodon. My name is Tenya Ida. Blue, Mighty Morphin Ranger, Triceratops. I'm Ochako Uraraka. Pink, Mighty Morphin Ranger. Power, Pterodactyl. My name, Momo Yayorozu. Yellow Ranger. Power, Saber-Tooth Tiger. I'm Melissa Shields. Similar to Izuku, my quirk got jump-started when I activated my power, so now I have the power of elasticity. Ooh, you're kind of like me, Luffy would say, showing how his arms can move like rubber. Exactly. I have the power of the White Ranger, White Tiger. And like that, the groups would go one by one, introducing themselves. My name is Captain Shinji Ikari. I work at Nerve headquarters and I lead the Zeo Rangers. I'm Zeo Ranger 5, Red. No need to feel faint. I'm Asuka Langley Soryu, Pink, Zeo Ranger 1. Also, Shinji's mine, so if any of you have any other ideas, well, don't try it. I'm Rei Ayanami, Zeo Ranger 2, Yellow. Nice to meet you all. I'm Toji Suzuhara, Zeo Ranger 4, Green. I'm Kensuke Ayeda, Zeo Ranger 3, Blue. Alright, looks like we're next. I'm Shinra Kusakabe, Lightspeed Rescue, Red. I'm Tamaki Kodaketsu, Pink Ranger, Lightspeed. Also, I have to warn you guys about my lucky lecture. I really do apologize. I don't mean to do it on purpose. And before Tamaki could finish, she somehow slipped off the stage and all of her clothing went flying in every which direction. Her panties flying directly to a certain skeleton afroed fellow. Oh my. And I didn't even have to ask this. Ugh! However, he received a quick punch from Nami as she told him to release the undergarments, the female rangers quickly going to put Tamaki's clothes back on. My name is Arthur Boyle. No need to be alarmed, maidens. I am a knight. Blue, Lightspeed Ranger. And with my plasma sword by my side, you'll have no need to fear. I'll protect you from all enemies or foes. Lord Draken won't stand a chance. And I'm far greater than this devil here. What was that, dumb knight? My name's Inka. Inka Kasugatani. I'm the Orange Lightspeed Ranger. If I had to say why I'm here, I'm just here for fun and to see what happens next. Isn't that right, Shinra? And my name's Ogon Montgomery. Turquoise Lightspeed Ranger. Also from Company 4, but I had to tag along, so at your service. Wait, Izuku would ask. Don't you have more rangers? Why didn't you all come? Well, it's like Captain Obi said. Until we get back, we can't just leave our post completely unguarded. So, some of the team had to stay back for now. Although, we were able to make do. And besides, we have a pretty good group with us. Yeah, that makes sense. So, who's next? Think that's me. Sup, guys? Naruto Uzumaki. Ninja Storm, Red Ranger, you know? Also, you're looking at the future Hokage. What's a Hokage? Ooh, me. I know this. You? Yeah, my name's Yuji Itadori, and, I'm a big fan of yours. Thanks. My name's Cam Watanabe, Samurai, Green Ninja Storm Ranger. Kurasuchi of the Stone, Crimson Thunder Ranger. I'm Chojuro of the Mist, Navy Thunder Ranger. Tamari of the Sand, Yellow Ninja Storm Ranger. I'm Kari of the Cloud, Blue Ninja Storm Ranger. I'm Sasuke Uchiha, Hidden Leaf, Black Ninja Storm Ranger. Well, looks like it's my turn. No need to get all excited now. My name's Kazuma Sato, Green Mystic Ranger. My name is Megumin, greatest of all of the Crimson Mages, and I am the wielder of true explosion. I am the darkness of the night. I am the one who bellows forth a great poop. I'm the Red Mystic Ranger. Now, no need for everyone to be in awe at once. My name is Aqua, and I am the goddess of water. I am the one who looks down upon all. Oh, Kazuma. I'm the Blue Mystic Ranger. My name is Darkness. I am a Crusader, and I am the Yellow Mystic Ranger. I look forward to working with all of you. I hope we'll get to fight some strong and powerful foes. If I must, I will put my life on the line for all of my comrades. And against this fiendish Lord Dragon, there's no telling what vile things he'll do to me. But I know that no matter what, I will never let— Ow! Kazuma! Beat it, perv. My name's Yun. I'm the Pink Mystic Ranger. Nice to meet you all. Hey, how come she didn't get hit? Megumin would ask. Because Yun is normal, unlike all of you. It's like a disease with you. Sup, guys? My name's Yuji Itadori, Jungle Fury, Red Ranger. I should probably warn you now, I have a demon sealed inside of me. You too? Naruto would ask. What was that? I'm sorry, Kurama. I don't think you're a demon at all. I'm just saying, I've never thought that there would be someone else that had something sealed within him. Hey, brat. Watch it. Is there a mouth on the side of his face? Asuka would ask. Oh, yeah, his name's Sukuna. Ow! He doesn't know when to shut up sometimes. You little impotent. Hey, that's enough out of you. I'm Megumi Fuguroshi, Blue Jungle Fury Ranger. Ooh, his name's like mine. Not really. Yours has an N on it. Mine doesn't. I'm Nobara Kusakaki, Yellow Jungle Fury Ranger. Maki Zenin, Bat, Black Jungle Fury Ranger. My name's Panda, Green Jungle Fury Ranger, Elephant. Salmon, Benito, Sharkflake, Benito Sharkflake. What was that? He's a shark? Oh, his name's Toge. Sorry to explain, but where we come from, we use a power source called cursed energy. He has the power of cursed speech, so he has to be limited in what he says. If he used it outright, he might end up doing a lot more harm than good for us and himself. But don't worry, I'll translate. He's the Shark Ranger, Aqua. Ooh, he's Aqua like me? Wait, how is that even possible if there's two blues? That's why he goes by Shark, Aqua. Oh my god, I can't believe you're this dumb. I am not dumb. Whatever. Who's next? That would be me. My crew, well, we're probably the most recent, but it's nice to see you all. And thanks again for helping me save my brother. I'm Monkey D. Luffy, captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. And I'm the Red Pirate Ranger. Name's Roronoa Zoro, Blue Pirate Ranger. Name's Sanji, Green Pirate Ranger. At your services, ladies. My name's Nami, Pink Pirate Ranger. Nico Robin, Yellow Pirate Ranger. I am Usopp. I am the Silver Pirate Ranger, and I command over 800 men and over 5,000 fleets. No way, really? No, he doesn't, Zoro would say, shaking his head. Hey, you don't know that at all. Whatever, sit down. Hi, I'm Tony Chopper, Gold Pirate Ranger, at your service. Also, I'm a doctor. Wait, is he a reindeer? Yeah, I think he is. Since when did reindeers learn how to talk? I don't think anyone in this room can really talk about weird. But still though, he's pretty cute. Name's Frankie. Robo Knight. Artillery. And I packed a cola. And finally, I am Brooke, with the power of the Magna Defender. But I have only one true question for all of my future comrades. Brooke scanned the room, looking at every lady in particular. May I, please, see your panties? Ugh! And without warning, a lot of women punched him in the face. You know, that would really hurt me, especially in the face, if I had one. Yo, I'm nothing but bones. Well, now with the introductions out of the way, Jen would exclaim as she made her way now back to the front. This is the task at hand. Using the powers of Izuku's team, we wish to reverse track and find Lord Draken. We lost communication with the task force that had been sent to chase after him about a week ago, and we believe now that, more than ever, he might be close to achieving his ultimate goal. You mean getting to the morphing grid? Shinji would ask. Precisely. He never stays this quiet for too long. He's always popping up somewhere. We believe that the moment he would go off radar was the moment he would get close to achieving his ultimate goal. However, now more than ever, we believe that this is the time to lead our counterstrike. And what exactly are we supposed to do? Zoro would ask. Well, the reason why I would particularly require your help is that unlike any other Ranger teams that we have ever seen before, you 7 have probably the most potential. Wait, potential? Kazuma would say. Us? Potential? Well, I mean, I know me, but I don't know about these 3. Kazuma? What? I'm just being honest here. Yes, all of you, in your own ways, each possess unique skills and powers that go beyond even that of a regular Ranger. In your own ways, I would argue even without Ranger power, you would probably be able to pose a legit threat to Lord Draken. But now that you actually have it, it seems as though we can be able to use that power on our side, and I believe it will give us the edge we need in battle. So how exactly are we supposed to get to the edge of the whole universe? I mean, if it really is made up how you say it is, then I don't think there's any real easy way for us to find it there. Getting to the edge of the universe won't be difficult. It's getting back that would be hard. We at Time Force use time travel to our own devices when it comes to keeping peace within the continuity of time and within the multiverse. The only way to get to the end of the multiverse would be to get to the end of time itself. Wait, if you had a way of getting there, then why don't you just beam to the punch? Because it's really never been that simple. Up until now, Lord Draken has never actually made an attempt, and we figured that if he were going to do so, he'd have to go through our timeline in order to do it. So that's why we would serve as the last defense if worse came to worse. But the fact that he's been off the radar for as long as he has, and the fact that he hasn't come through here, it means that he must have probably found another way. He can't really be all that strong. I mean, All of us together should be more than enough to just blow him out of the water, right? Zoro would ask. That's what we would want to believe. But Draken is a very powerful foe. He's conquered many ranger teams in the past, all of different variety and skill. He's acquired many different advancements, and we believe that the closer he gets to the morphing grid, to the core itself, the stronger he will become, until eventually it won't matter what powers you have. With everyone being connected to the morphing grid, he knows just as much about you as you can know about him. Huh. So all you're saying is that we just have to stop him from getting to the core. Sasuke would clasp both his hands together. That's simple enough. I think we can easily dispose of him. In fact, I think me and Naruto would be more than enough. You think so, Sasuke? I know so. I mean, no offense, but I watched how a lot of you guys fought during that battle in that boy Luffy's world. You're all impressive in your own right, but in the end, I really didn't see anything that was all that worthwhile. What you say, you damn emo? Bakugo would yell as he stood on his feet, now starting to get angered at Sasuke's cockiness. Come on, Bakugo, I'm sure you didn't mean anything by it personally. I don't. I'm not saying that you're not powerful, kid. All I'm saying is that all of our powers are on different levels. We can't just pretend like that's not true. Yeah, but even still, as Shinji stood, don't you think it would be better if we all tried to work together? After all, we're talking about fighting on the edge of the universe here. There's no telling what could be waiting for us on the other side. He's kinda got a point, Shinra would chime in also. But even still, if we all come together, and it's still not enough, then what exactly can we do? Is there anything? Jen would look out to all of them as she began to speak. In all likelihood, if Lord Draken was to succeed in his plans, we really have no idea of what we would have to do next. The best thing we could do is gather all of our forces and make a desperate push, but even still, in all likelihood, that's not going to work out. We'll try to send in as much reinforcements as we can, but I'm leaving it up to all of you to beat him at the pass. If he's making it to the edge, then we have to be able to cut him off at the source. Please, I know that you have no reason to help. I know that you all come from your own worlds and you have your own goals and ambitions. And honestly, if anyone here doesn't want to take the mission, you won't be faulted for it. After all, up until moments ago, you all probably didn't even know that there were other rangers outside of your own world, maybe except for a few of you, and even then, you probably were under no obligation to come and fight now. But I am asking on behalf of all worlds, and of all rangers, please lend us your strength. She bowed to all of them, knowing that in the end, there wasn't much that she could do. They had been fighting Lord Draken for as long as she could remember now. Fighting across timelines, fighting across multiverses, seeing friends and other comrades die along the way. There had been much bloodshed, and many lives had been lost on all sides. But Lord Draken and his tyranny, it had to come to a stop. And she believed that this group, they were the ones that could do it. Izuku would be the first to stand. As he exclaimed, he had come specifically for that purpose. His whole team had, and they were going to see it through. The other rangers would slowly stand one by one. Within all of them, they had the heart to do what was right. And they knew for a fact that it was either they were going to have to go to Lord Draken, or one way or another he was going to come to them. And if they waited and did nothing, by the time he showed up, they might not have a chance. At least now, they had one. With everyone on the same page, Jin would point them to the special space terminix, where the X-Wing would be waiting. It was a ship, one that would travel through time itself, and it could sit all of them. Its main focus was to take them to the edge of the universe. There, in all likelihood, they would run and come face to face with Lord Draken, who would be waiting. Although how far would their journey take them, they had no clue. Everyone would board the ship, everyone being seated into position, as the navigating system would do the rest. Jin and the other members of Time Force would watch on, as the ship would be sent hurtling, first in the speed of light, until it eventually disappeared all entirely, moving into the new dimension and out of the realm of time. In the meanwhile, Lord Draken sat on his throne as his ship was finally approaching the edge of the universe. This was something he had been waiting for so long. It was something he had put off for a while now, but looking at the situation now, he knew he didn't have a choice. You see, there was a reason why Lord Draken conquered the Power Rangers from multiverse to multiverse. It wasn't just to fulfill his own ego, but it was to acquire power. You see, power is something that cannot be destroyed. It is something that can only be passed on or taken. Lord Draken was building up his power. With each Ranger team he beat, a little bit of their energy was taken into himself. There was no telling how many Rangers he had killed along the way, how many heroes he had destroyed. And up until now, he thought that he were truly unbeatable. But now he wasn't so sure. There were these other Rangers. They were odd, weird, sometimes downright comical, but yet in every way, they had something that Lord Draken just didn't quite like. A tenacity, a certain mojo about them that was off-putting. And as such, the only thing he wanted now was to gain the ultimate power, to find the core of the grid itself. If he could claim it for him, if he could take it and hold it within his hands, he could absorb the power of God, no longer being beholden to the will of the morphing grid, but rather he would bend it to his own will, his own qualm. You see, Lord Draken believes more than anything that the only way to truly achieve peace within this world, the only way that there could truly be prosperity, is if he led. Why limit themselves? Why limit their powers and their abilities? That's why his first team were so foolish. Jason, Zach, Billy, Trini, all of them. But there was always one. There was one no that held him back. Kimberly. Even after all this time, after everything that he had done, she still haunted him. It was part of the reason of why he purged himself through killing, through destruction, to try to rid himself of that weakness that was her. And yet, every time still, he found himself thinking of her constantly, being reminded of her smile, of her face. And he remembered the look she gave when he plunged his sword through her heart. In honesty, she was the first victim of Lord Draken. He didn't even call himself Tommy Oliver anymore, because that man died in her arms. He believed that he could rid himself of the two, but yet now it felt as though there was something tugging at him. There was something about the one who had taken his power. Whoever he was, when the Alpha escaped from his dimension and the power had resurfaced, he could feel it within himself, although he couldn't fully explain why. He felt as though there were a piece of him that were still living, and by extension, a piece of her, and it troubled him greatly. He wasn't quite sure of how to put it, but it was like this feeling of pressure on his shoulders. Guilt? Remorse? It was as if there was some force that washed over him from time to time. Whenever he felt as though he were completely immersed in the darkness, there would be just a little flicker of light. And even though it was nothing but a mere flicker, a little spark that lasted nothing more but a brief moment, it was enough that unsettled him, it troubled him. And woe to his guards or anyone who was in his path. His last outburst had been 3 days ago, but it was the worst one yet. He was with a platoon of Mastodon guards. They were making their way on the bridge of the ship when the feeling washed over him. And well, let's just say, 7 walked on that bridge, and only 1 walked out. But sadly, it got to a point where none of the other guards could even complain. There was nothing that they could do, honestly. After all, what could they do against Lord Draken? When he got into his mood, there was nothing that could change him. Nothing. And now, after all this time, after all this fighting and after all this conquest, Lord Draken was now making it to where he needed to be. As their ship moved past the endless void, it eventually settled upon a great plain. As they looked up into the sky, it seemed as though it were nighttime, although it looked like there were colors that flashed all across. Red, blue, green, yellow, pink, violet, orange, indigo. All of them vibrant and inviting. This was the edge, but this was not what he was looking for. He would still need to search. As his ship touched down, his platoon would follow him. He had used the morphing grid to create for himself an army of dark rangers. While all of their suits were pitch black, they took on the various traits of different rangers throughout the history of the timeline. Mastodon guards, Zeo swordsmen, SPD snipers, mystic mages, and among others. A platoon of at least 1,000. They followed him as they made their trek, searching through, but not really finding anything. In this void, it seemed as though you could walk for days at a time, and yet nothing got closer and nothing got farther. It was almost as if the very plane they were walking on was nothing but a giant treadmill, and they were merely walking in place. Lord Draken walked, but under his helmet he kept his eyes closed. He knew how to sense for power, and he knew all too well that in order to find it, it wasn't something you could search for with your eyes. It was something that had to be felt for. It was something that you had to believe within your heart of hearts that you would be able to reach. It wasn't enough to find it physically. You had to find it mentally. You had to truly believe that you would come across the morphing grid, otherwise it would always be lost to you. As they continued their walk, for what felt as though it were an endless amount of time, Suddenly they would hear something in the distance. Another ship touching down not too far. Lord Draken opened his eyes. Looking over to the ship, he could see that it was Time Force. And so they had finally sent them. Their last-ditch hope of defeating him. He wondered what ragtag team of Rangers were going to be coming out this time. But his confidence would be shook. Because the first one to step off of the ship was a young man of whom he did not know, but yet at the same time he felt as though they were one and the same. Izuku, being the first to step off of the ship, would have the others follow quickly behind. Thankfully, even in this void, because of the platoon and Lord Draken all being bound together, it made them easier to track. Izuku used his power coin, along with Melissa's, mainly because it was their 2 power coins that gave birth to Lord Draken in the first place. The irony of it all, that he would be tracked with his own power. There was still space between the 2 sides, but even for our band of Rangers, they could see the army of 1,000, and they were not something to be taken lightly. Izuku, Todoroki would say, there seems to be a big few of them. Yeah, a lot of extras that need to get pounded into the dirt. Shinji, what do you think would be the best course of action? Rei would ask. I'm not entirely sure. We'll probably have to fight on the defensive if we're being honest here. We're outnumbered almost 10-1. And on top of that, Draken's among them. Shinra had a wicked smile on his face, because he was ready for some action. Don't worry, guys. I think I can turn the tide of battle for us pretty well. Naruto would grin, as he was just eager to let out all of this energy. And he was ready to see what he could do at full power now. Kazuma, well, he was shitting bricks. To be honest, he was going to run back onto the ship, but before he could, darkness grabbed him by the collar and dragged him forward, knowing fully well that everyone was going to be needed for this fight. Yuji Itadori started to stretch as well, as the other Jujutsu sorcerers were also preparing themselves for combat, channeling and focusing on their cursed energy. And Luffy, he was just bouncing up and down. Zoro gripping the plus sides of his blades. Sanji taking the last draw of his cigarette. Usopp and Chopper, well, they were fearing for their lives, and Nami was not too far behind them. Robin, she thought that this wasn't anything too bad. 1,000 evil foot soldier Power Rangers, well, they've probably been through worse, or will be. Lord Draken was the first to walk out amongst his men. As he looked towards them, Izuku standing in front of his team as well. It only took but for a brief moment, but Lord Draken now got a chance to see him. The boy that had been his nightmare. So, you're the one that took my power coins, huh? I take it Alpha went to your universe? Yeah, he did. And I take it you're Lord Draken, huh? I am. And what business do I have with you, boy? My name is Izuku Midoriya. And I, and along with my comrades, we have come here to stop you. Stop me. You see, I'm going to excuse your ignorance because you're young. But I think you know fully well who I am, and what I've been capable of doing. I've killed hundreds of Rangers in the past, and you will be no different. But I'm going to offer you a chance to do the right thing, because I'm merciful. Pledge your allegiance to me, and I'll let you live. Or, you surrender your morphers, you get back on that ship, and you leave my sight, and I promise I won't visit your worlds. Or you can go with the third option. A brave but foolish choice. You can take me on. And trust me, you don't want to do that. For a brief moment, Bakugo was ready to yell out something, but he didn't. Because he saw Izuku, and he saw a smile on his face. Something he never thought he'd see. As Izuku looked, with confidence and determination, this was what he had been training for. The day that had finally arrived. No, I want to. Are you guys ready? Ready! Everyone would yell in unison. Everyone grabbing onto their morphers and preparing for combat. It's morphin' time! Dragon Zord, Tyrannosaurus, Mastodon, Triceratops, Pterodactyl, Saber-toothed Tiger, White Tiger, Zeo Ranger 5, Red, Zeo Ranger 4, Green, Zeo Ranger 3, Blue, Zeo Ranger 2, Yellow, Zeo Ranger 1, Pink, Lightspeed, Rescue, Red, Pink, Blue, Orange, Turquoise, Ninja Storm, Ranger Form, Red, Green Samurai Ranger, Thunderstorm, Ranger Form, Crimson, Navy Thunder, Ninja Storm, Black, Magical Source, Mystic Force, with the power of blazing fire, Mystic Force Red, with the spirit of the forest, Mystic Force Green, with the power of water, Mystic Force Blue, with the surge of lightning, Mystic Force Yellow, with the howls of wind, Mystic Force Pink. Alright guys, let's go. With the strength of a tiger, Jungle Fury Red Ranger. With the stealth of a jaguar, Jungle Fury Blue Ranger. With the speed of a cheetah, Jungle Fury Yellow Ranger. With the swiftness of a bat, Jungle Fury Bat Ranger. With the strength of a panda, Jungle Fury Elephant Ranger. Shark, Salmon, Bonito Flake, Shark, Surge. Alright guys, let's join them. Gokaiger, Red Pirate Ranger. Gokaiger, Blue Pirate Ranger. Gokaiger, Green Pirate Ranger. Gokaiger, Pink Pirate Ranger. Gokaiger, Yellow Pirate Ranger. Gokaiger, Silver Pirate Ranger. Gokaiger, Gold Pirate Ranger. Robo Knight form, activate. Power of the Magna Defender, come forth at once. Everyone would surge as the powers swirled all together, their aura being far much more greater than even Lord Draken was expecting. All 7 Ranger teams now joined together and ready for combat. As Lord Draken backed away and allowed his soldiers to take foot, he wanted to see what they were made of. His foot soldiers led the charge, the army of Dark Rangers versus the army of Hope. Izuku would lead the way as he used full cowling, 20%. He blazed forward as he used a series of kicking combo strikes against one battalion, while Katsuki Bakugo would set off fiery red explosions. Todoroki would create a great wall of ice before hitting it with a flash of heat, decimating a few of the battalion. Ida would come roaring in with his blue Recipro burst, going in for a great swifting kick. Uraraka flying in the air using zero gravity, now with even greater effect and speed with the power of the pterodactyl, would go in screeching, using her powers to blow them all away. Momo Yaoyorozu, with the power of the saber-toothed tiger, would use her swiftness to move past many of the guards, while using her creation quirk to create various handheld weapons to use at her disposal, while Melissa, she adopted a fighting style that Luffy would be very proud of. Using her fist, she would allow it to grow and expand in size, before ricocheting her arm, kind of like that of a yo-yo, and using her fist to fly around and take everyone out, while also fighting off others using her talking sword, Saba. Shinji and the Zeo Rangers, their fighting was more in unison than anyone else's, although that was due to the training that they did under both Jason and Misato, as well as their experience working at Nerve between working with the Evangelion, as well as with their own Zords. They were precise and in precision with everything that they did. Shinji and Asuka would combine to use their AT fields to push back a section of the forces, while Toji, being one of the heavy hitters, would get up close with his power axes in dual combat mode. Kinsuke chose to stick to the back. An expert sniper, he would pick them off wherever he could. As for the Fire Force squad, Shinra would tap into some of the morphing grid. Being close to the core, it was like being right beside some grace, and it allowed him to amplify his fire speed to a level never before seen. His Rapid Man kicks now moving much quicker, the souls of the Red Rocket. Tamaki would use her powers of the Flaming Nekomoria as she slashed and clawed her way through them. Inka, she would just be blowing them up in bunches at a time, while Ogan, using his flaming ink, would increase his strength and durability as he tanked through the forces. Arthur demonstrating his skills as a swordsman, and even catching the attentions of both Zoro and Sasuke, in the way that he was able to hold his own against other skilled swordsmen of the Dark Army. But the real heavy hitter, Naruto Uzumaki, using the multi-shadow clone jutsu, was more than able to create his own army that could match at least half of the Dark Army on its own, blitzing through them rather quickly, with the other Ninja Storm Rangers using their speed to their advantage. Sasuke might have gone overboard when he created his Susanoo arm and just slashed away at one group without even trying. Even the Mystic Force Rangers were able to show what they could do, although it was unique in their own way. Kazuma had managed to use his nature summoning energy in order to create his buff form, and he was actually able to do a pretty good job for the most part until the time part ran out and he went back to scrawny old Kazuma. But he had been learning how to use his sword, and now he had his blade Chun Chun Maru. I still don't know how he got stuck with that name, and he was holding his own for the most part. Yun Yun and Megumin were combining their powers, Yun Yun creating a great burst of wind, and Megumin with a fiery explosion, creating a scorching blaze that found its way surrounding the armies themselves, and crushing them in the process. The Jungle Fury team were also unleashing and running wild with their animal spirits, all just raging across the battlefield over. Yuji with the spirit of the tiger, Megumi the spirit of the jaguar, Nobara the spirit of the cheetah, Maki the spirit of the bat, Toge the spirit of the shark, and Panda the spirit of the elephant, their animal spirits just trouncing over their enemies before them. And then, the Straw Hat crew. Luffy would go into gear second as he used the Gum Gum Gatlin. using it with rocket fire, just taking out wave after wave. Zoro would use his two-sword style, not needing to go all out and use three, while Sanji would be able to easily kick away all of his foes. He actually gave his gun and sword to a few others on the battlefield since he didn't really need to use them. Nami would fight from the distance using her climb attack, and she was actually able to cause a great effect, even being able to make storm clouds that could do decent damage, while Nico Robin used the Hana Hana no Mi and was able to snap plenty of necks. Usopp, along with Kinsuke, proved to be the sniper duo of the Ranger team, as Kinsuke used his Ranger rifle, while Usopp used the Kabuto. Chopper, on the other hand, he decided to kick things up a notch. Using a Rumble Ball key, he placed it into his Morpher, before eventually going into another point, that being going into his Monster Point, giving him increased monster strength as he was able to plow through the forces before him. Frankie summoned the Robo Gatling gun, while Brook would use his soul power through the Magna Sword to easily wipe away the enemy. Lord Draken watched on as the fight continued. To say that he was impressed would be an understatement. The teams were able to work together rather efficiently. In their powers, there was something else. Something he wasn't truly expecting or counting on. But even still, he wasn't all that worried. Even for where they were, he could still draw on the powers of the morphing grid just fine. His army, they had been little more but pawns in the grand scheme of things. And they were serving their role rather well, as now he could concentrate and gather all of that energy. While everyone was expending their own power to fight, he was only using his to grow. And since they were on the very edge of time and space itself, well, now was the most perfect of opportunities. The army's forces began to dwindle down in size, as the last few were wiped out. As they were all defeated, everyone looked around and were in pretty high spirits. I mean, even if it was 1,000 soldiers, it didn't really feel like it in the end of the day. Everyone was able to pitch in and do their part, and it seemed as though the victory had been won. But now that only left Lord Draken. Bakugo was the most boisterous out of all of them, mainly because he was expecting something more. I mean, come on, this is supposed to be the guy that they've been worrying about this whole time, and this is how weak his goons are? He couldn't imagine how weak the boss was. If anything, Izuku and him could have done this in like 10 minutes tops, no diff at all. I mean, what else could he possibly have to offer? They would then hear a laugh. As the smoke cleared from the battlefield and the dust settled, they saw standing before them was none other than Lord Draken. "Oh no, you're right, young Bakugo. Do go on. I have to agree with you on that point. I truly wasn't giving my very best, and I do apologize. But I do hope I can be the challenge that you're looking for." Lord Draken pulled his Saba, as well as his dragon dagger. "Now, let's see how you handle a real ranger." Without word, Lord Draken would disappear from sight. The rangers had no idea what was happening, but it didn't take quite long before the horror show began. Bakugo found himself in a not too good predicament, as he found himself being stabbed through the chest with the dark Saba. Everyone was taken off guard by this. Even the fastest of them didn't even see that happen. Bakugo fell to the ground immediately, Izuku yelling, but before he could do anything for his friend, he was kicked to the ground by Lord Draken. Everyone immediately started to rush him all at once, and while this wasn't too bright, systematically and methodically, he was able to fend them off. Ida tried to catch him with reciprocal bursts, only for his legs to be kicked from under him as he went being smacked square first into the ground below. Shinji and the others attempted to use their AT fields to block him in, only for them to be pushed off effortlessly. Shinra tried to beat him with his time jump, but Lord Draken was able to beat him to it. The decimation of the Rangers, well, it was a bit of an understatement. Naruto was able to hold his own against with him the best, tapping into the power of the Sage of Six Paths. His body beginning to glow a bright red, but even still Lord Draken was able to match him. Now some of you might be wondering, have I made Lord Draken too powerful, or is Naruto too weak? The answer is quite simple. Lord Draken was drawing power from the pure morphing grid itself, giving him the boost that he needed to match Naruto in power. Because you see, the morphing grid connects all. The one misconception that a lot of people have about the morphing grid, Lord Draken would explain, is that you think it only powers the righteous. But tell me, where do you think my power comes from? Do you think that there's a dark or evil morphing grid out there? One for the good and one for the bad? Do you think the morphing grid only favors those who you believe are right? As the Rangers got back to their feet, some trying to recover faster than others, they were trying to make sense of what Lord Draken was saying. Isn't it obvious? There is no right or wrong with the morphing grid. There are those who can and there are those who can't. In the end of the day, good and bad, that's only subjective in the eyes of the beholder. You think you are good because you have that power, and you think I am wrong. You think that I am evil. You judge me because of my actions. But let me ask you this. If the will of the morphing grid was to fight against evil and fight against wrong, why does it bless me? Why does it give me the power to match all of you? Why does it give me the power to be able to stand against you all now? Don't you understand? Don't you get it? You are not right, nor are you righteous. You are fools. The morphing grid is nothing but power. That is it. It is not good, nor is it evil. It is only meant to be used by those who have the strength to endure. And you, my friends, for as powerful as you might be, you do not have that strength. I am above your petty notions of justice. I am a god. Lord Draken would begin to glow, every color beginning to swirl around him. He had been doing this for far too long. If anyone knew anything about the morphing grid, it was him. And now he was going to demonstrate it. Instantly, multiple versions of Lord Draken would appear as they went charging at the different Rangers. Now, don't call this unfair. After all, you are the mighty Power Rangers sent here to stop me. Well, go ahead and try. As the Rangers slowly got back to their feet, they would each engage a different Lord Draken. The Straw Hats would try to bind and hold him down. However, he was able to evade them rather aloofly. Robin tried to stop him with the Hana Hana no Mi, only for her arms to be broken and retracted as she felt the pain. Frankie attempted to go in for an all-out assault only to have his arm blown off. Usopp attempted to use his many silver stars to shoot and take him out, only for it not to go entirely as he planned. They looked through their belt buckles to try to see if there was another power that they could draw from, but there was nothing. "Trying to borrow another power, are we?" Lord Draken would say. "You can't borrow what you don't have, because I'm in control." The Jungle Fury Rangers would attempt to fight and hold their own as well. Fuguroshi would summon his shadow summonings, his shadow hounds attempting to bite away and rip off the head of Lord Draken, but it was their heads that were sent rolling. Nobara tried to go in for a quick assault, only for her to be stabbed in the leg. However, she had anticipated this. The moment Lord Draken was close enough, she would reach out and touch him on the chest, creating a link between the two. Nobara would take her hammer, as well as a few nails, slamming them into her wrist. It caused her a great deal of pain, but she figured it would do the same to Lord Draken. However, he grabbed her by that same wrist and snapped it. "I've been through much worse than a few sharp nails, little girl. It's going to take a lot more than that to take me down." The Konosuba team, they didn't do much better either. They just simply got slapped around, to say the least, although Aqua was, surprisingly enough, able to do some bit of damage. After all, unlike the others, she was a goddess, as Aqua used her sacred exorcism. She attempted to collide with Lord Draken, who countered her with a punch of his own, the two colliding and actually managing to go to a standstill before they were both blown away. From out of nowhere, Naruto would come back once more, Naruto proving to be the most difficult of all the Rangers to fight. "You, Shinobi, you're probably going to be the most difficult, even if I didn't have to face you with Ranger power. Your skills alone far exceed any of the others here." That's just who I am, after all. But I'm not going down so easily. Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu! Naruto would create a multitude of shadow clones that would all go charging towards Lord Draken, and they were actually starting to take their toll upon him. "It doesn't matter if you've got the power, because I've got the numbers advantage. And I can do this for as long as it takes." That might be, Naruto. But even still, we all have our limits. All the same though, the shinobi were not ones to be mocked, as Tamari used a wind-style gale fan jutsu, along with Karui's storm release, slicing tide. The two jutsus would combine, slamming into Lord Draken's back, while Sasuke attempted to finish it, as he used planetary devastation. The ground itself would start to lift, as Lord Draken started to be crushed inside of an almost meteorite-sized form of rock. "Look guys," Sasuke would say, as he focused all of his concentration on trying to hold Lord Draken in place. "I can keep him in here for a good while, but eventually he's going to break out." "What? But how, Sasuke? Shouldn't we have the advantage if he's trapped in there?" "It's not about that, Naruto. Honestly, I think I'm right. We are stronger than this guy, but he has the advantage over us here specifically, because he's able to draw on the powers of this morphing grid or whatever. As long as he's able to siphon it here in this dimension, we're not going to stand a chance. The best thing we can do is weaken him and move him to another location. One where he won't be able to draw on as much power. If we can do that, we'll have a chance of winning. I'm going to try to keep him here for as long as I can. You guys, just blow him to hell. Give him everything you've got and don't hold back anything. Naruto, you know how to make the connection, so do it. Right. Are you ready, Kurama? I've been ready, kid. Let's do this. Alright, let's go! Naruto's chakra would begin to flare brightly, as the aura now enveloped him. Naruto would then begin to yell the commands to get everyone in place. Alright guys, everyone hold your hands up high. I'm going to be giving you guys a little boost. Not everyone was sure of what was going on, but now wasn't the time to start making demands or asking anything. Everyone held up their hands and Naruto speed blitzed them, slapping all of their hands and giving them their own Nine-Tails chakra cloaks. Izuku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Ida, Uraraka, Momo, Melissa, Shinji, Asuka, Rei, Toji, Kensuke, Shinra, Tamaki, Arthur, Inka, Ogon, Cam, Kurasuchi, Chojuro, Tamari, Karori, Kazuma, Megumin, Aqua, Darkness, Yunyun, Yuji, Megumi, Nobara, Maki, Toge, Panda, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Nami, Robin, Usopp, Chopper, Frankie, and Brook. Everyone now had the cloak of the Nine-Tails, as Naruto told them to form a circle around the giant planetoid. As Lord Draken was still drawing more power from the morphing grid attempting to escape. You can't keep me here forever. I'm gonna get out, and I'm going to have your heads rolling. Sasuke focused all of his attentions on keeping Lord Draken in place. However, the more that he was able to draw from the morphing grid, the stronger he was becoming. And with almost an unlimited supply of power, pretty soon he would eclipse everyone here. And so now it was up to them to finish it. Naruto! You guys! I don't know how much longer I can hold him. Whatever you're going to do it now! Alright, everyone follow my lead. Naruto, along with everyone who had a Kurama cloak, would all form Kurama Chakra avatars. Naruto could feel his power was being stretched thin, but the boost was worth it. Alright, listen all of you. This power isn't going to last too much longer. But while you have it, you need to raise yourselves to your absolute limit. You need to push beyond. Go far. You mean, we have to go plus ultra? What's that? It's something we say in our world. It means to go beyond your limits. To push beyond the boundaries before you. That's right. That's what we all have to do. We have to push our powers to its absolute limit to counter Lord Draken. I don't know how, but I just think if we can hit him all at once, it should do enough damage. If we can get a time loop formed, we can push him out of here, and we can finish the fight. At least we'll have a chance, right? Shinji would ask. Yeah, it's better than nothing, Asuka would chime in. I'm down for it. I've got all the firepower. And hey, if we're all connected, I think I can add some grace onto it. Grace? What's grace? It's, I'm not quite sure. But back where I'm from, I was able to draw on some of the morphing grid's power myself. You can do that? Yuji would ask. Yeah, although it was just for myself. But if we're all connected here, I'm sure I could spread it around and amplify us before we go all out. Well, whatever it is, we've got to do it quickly. We're not going to get another shot at this. Yeah, you're right. And don't worry, if anyone has negative emotion, we can use that to our advantage also, Yuji would chime in. What do you mean? Where we come from, we use cursed energy as power. It comes from negativity, but we use it for the good of mankind. So whatever negative feelings you guys are holding, all the hatred and the rage, just let it out. We'll be able to use it and add it on to the final attack. Alright. But we should probably get started with the plan instead of just talking, because Sasuke, I don't know how much longer he can hold out. And Sasuke, he was using every bit of his being to hold out, keeping the planetoid from moving that kept Lord Draken inside. Will you all just shut up and do it already? Damn! Sorry, Sasuke. Everyone, let's do it! Right! Next, as everyone was inside of a Kurama Chakra avatar, there were more large Kuramas than anyone had ever seen. They decided to go with their plans to boost themselves to their absolute max, hoping that in the end it would be enough for them to gain the victory. First would be Shinra Kusakabe, who was able to draw on the grace of the Morphing Grid. He bestowed the grace onto everyone he was connected to via the chakra cloaks, amplifying their strength once more. The dark and negative emotions that many have been feeling, the sense of anger, the sense of hatred, the sense of destruction and bloodlust. The Jujutsu Kaisen team would draw upon that to amplify their own cursed techniques, pushing them to a level they had never thought they could experience. Everyone would lead the charge as they used their Kurama avatars to unleash their signature of techniques. One for all, full cowling, 100%, smash! 100% howitzer impact! 100% prominence burn! 100% reciprocal burst! 100% anti-gravity! Uraraka would use her quirk. Instead of making things weightless, she would add more weight to it, crushing Lord Draken, holding him in place. 100% cannon fire! 100% whiplash! Melissa would use the arm of Kurama to create an elongated arm that would come howling back towards the meteorite itself. Everyone, right! AT field, activate! 100%! Angel closure! The Zeo Rangers would use their AT field enhanced Kurama cloaks and attempt to bind and hold it together, providing Sasuke with much needed assistance. With 5 AT fields all working together at once, they were able to enclose it using a new formation. Pentagon AT field prison. Seal. Alright. Fire. Red prominence wave. Plasma strike. Necro slash. Burning devastation. Blazing assault. Rasengan. Green wave. Lava flow. Mist strike. Howling wind dance. Storm release. Surging tide. Alright guys, let's just back up Aqua with her move. Right. Power of the God. Striking fist. Requiem! The 5 Mystic Rangers would join, helping Aqua in using her ability, the fist and the rage of the gods, to strike against Lord Draken. Diverging fist. Shadow strike. Severing tide. Zen slash. Shark surge explosion. Elephant Rage! Gum Gum Balloon! Gum Gum Rocket! Kurama Style. 3-sword slash. Ashura. Deambulation. Climb attack. Storming stage. Mistin Flu. Eat Silver Star. Rumble Ball. Monster Point. Assault. Alright. I got one good gauntlet with your name on it. Frankie Surge, Howitzer Pact. Soul Power. 1000 Divine Cuts. With all of their attacks fired off together, the explosion was great. Honestly, if it wasn't thanks to Naruto's quick thinking in the cloaks, everyone here would be incinerated. Ultimately, though, the smoke, it covered everything, and rumbling that felt as though it could be heard all throughout the galaxy itself. Finally, though, the dust would settle, and everything would have seemingly have come to an end. As everyone dug themselves from out of the dirt and everything else they had been dragged into, they had all been demorphed, that much was certain. And all the same, they felt as though things might not have been so bad. Everyone slowly waving to one another and checking to see if they were all alright. And in the center mass of the devastation, of all the destruction and everything that they had caused, there was a depowered Lord Dragon, lying in the crater of his own husk. He had attempted to absorb as much of the Morphing Grid's power as he could, but even still, to withstand everything and come out completely unscathed, that was too much to ask for. But still, he hadn't given up, at least, not yet. As he slowly pulled himself from out of the dirt, even still, of everyone here, he was still looking and raring to go for a fight. As he looked towards all three, he exclaimed that the battle was far from over. In an instant flash, he would be back in his Lord Draken armor once again. A few of everyone feeling a bit demoralized. That's the difference between me and all of you. It took all of that effort, and what was it for? I'm still standing. And you guys don't have juice, but I do. Now, it looks like it's time for me to make a comeback. As Lord Draken prepared himself, everyone stood their ground. Even if they didn't have much, they were still more than willing to give it their all. They were trying to think of what their next move was going to be, if they were even going to have a next move. However, just then, another being would arrive. As he turned, he was all too familiar with that signature of power. It was someone that looked like a hybrid between the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger and the Zeo Gold Ranger. Is that you? Hey, Tommy. So, you're here now. I am. Everyone, I thank you. But I'll be finishing it here and now. You think so? I do. Very well. And without a word, the two would disappear. No one knew what had happened or what was going on. Izuku would try to speak to Jin through the communicator. Thankfully, once they had gotten to the ship once again, they were able to establish some contact. Jin exclaimed that they were just on the edge of the universe, and that Lord Draken's signature was gone. She asked what had happened, and they simply explained that another ranger showed up and took Lord Draken away. Of course, there were many questions that had to be asked, and the group would make their way back to Time Force headquarters. There would be long and very detailed conversations of the battle and everything that went down. To say that it was one for the ages, well, that would be a bit of an understatement. For the most part, everyone took time to try to recover, to try to relax, and to try to get their bearings about themselves. Who was that mysterious hybrid ranger? Where had he come from? And just how on earth was he able to take away Lord Draken? Izuku explained to Jin that from the way he spoke, he sounded as though he were confident that he could beat him. Of course, Time Force was going to have to look into this for now, but there was really nothing else that they could do. Lord Draken's signature wasn't in any part of the vicinity. And on the plus side, his forces, now that they were no longer under his command or having his presence, they were starting to be taken down. Slowly, they were starting to gain their upper hand in this battle, and soon the war would be won. But in the end, it felt a little anticlimactic, don't you think? At least, that's what Kazuma would ask. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful we all got to win and we survived that, because holy crap, I did not feel like dying for a third time. A third time? You died too? Yuji would ask. Yeah, dying's not unusual for guys like us. Although we seem to have a way of coming back from that thing, don't we? Ain't that the truth? Hey, so, about you, Yuji. How do you know Naruto if you guys are from different worlds? Wait, you guys don't know who Naruto is either? His story's like a bestseller in my world. Wait, my story's a bestseller? People know about me? Naruto would ask. Yeah, I always looked up to you when I was a kid. Your story about you and Sasuke and everything, it's awesome. Wait, so you know about us being Power Rangers? Well, you're not Power Rangers in the manga. What's a manga? Wait, you guys have never heard of manga? Kazuma would ask. Is it something that you eat? Luffy would ask. We used to have manga, Shinra would chime in. Although it kinda got destroyed in the Great Flame 200 years ago. Well, we have manga, but it's kind of primitive. Although we are only in the year 2015 after all, Shinji would add in also. Wait, 2015? How do you have that level of technology in 2015? What do you mean? Our technology is as advanced as always. Cell phones, everything. What exactly does a cell phone look like in your world? Kazuma would ask. Oh, it's pretty big and blocky. That's a cell phone? Those things came out in the 90s. How the heck is that in 2015? Is this one of those things where your world's version of advanced technology is primitive compared to everyone else's? It's not primitive. I mean, we turned angels into robots, are crying out loud. You what? Well, I mean, they're angels, but they're not angels, and what's your story anyway, Kazuma? We don't talk about it. What's so funny, Aqua? Oh, his story? Oh, don't worry. He's not like any of you guys. He got sent to another world because he died tragically trying to save a girl. What's so funny about that? Zoro would ask. The girl wasn't gonna die. Aqua, shut up. No, here's the worst thing. He died from shock. He peed his pants. Aqua, I'm warning you. Wait, so did he get hit by a car or something? Bakugo would ask, trying not to hold in his laughter. Oh no! He thought he got hit by a truck, but it was just a tractor! Oh, ow! Oh, Kazuma, no! Shut up! Just shut up! Wait a minute! You died because you thought you got hit by a truck, but it was just a tractor? Oh my god, this guy's a bigger nerd than you, Deku! Come on, Bakugo, you don't have to be so mean. He did die after all. I'm sorry. Todoroki tried to hold in his laughter. Oh, great. Just make me the butt of everyone's joke, huh? Well, I'm pretty sure my death wasn't the most funniest one here. I mean, come on, look at us. We're all freaks. That guy's nothing but a skeleton with an afro. How was that even a thing? There are a lot of things that we don't truly understand in our world. Yo-ho-ho-ho! I would say that really would hurt my heart. If I had one. But just what the heck are you? Oh, let's see. I'm a pirate, if you will. But, my soul got separated from my body when I died, and when I tried to find it, I kinda got lost for about 50 years, and I came back to being a pile of bones. Wait a minute. So, does anybody else have stories in your world? Yeah. Actually, all of you, kinda? Wait, what? Aqua, explain, Cosmo asked. Well, you see... Still spit it out. Well, in some worlds, you guys exist in other people's universes as stories. Wait a minute. So you're saying that in another world, people read about me? Not just read, they watch you too. Watch? Yeah, it's called anime. It's like a cartoon that you watch on TV. What's a TV? Luffy would ask. They come from a world where they don't have TVs. Wait a minute. Now Asuka wasn't really too thrilled. You mean to tell me that there are people who watch shows about me and this thing? Asuka, I have a name. Quiet, third. Yes. How did it end? Was I a hero? Did I do amazing? I don't think I should answer that. Asuka, I really don't think we need to... I want to know. So tell me, what happens in my show? Is it called Asuka? No, it's called... Okay, that's enough, you guys. We don't need the timelines getting any more convoluted than they already are, Jen would throw in. I can't thank you enough for your help. We're going to continue following up on what happened with Lord Draken. If he is out there somewhere, we're going to find him and bring him to justice. But in the meantime, there's nothing else that I can ask of you, and the only thing I can do is send you all back to your times. Send us back home, then. Back to where we came from the very start? Precisely. And even more so, I'm going to have to erase your memories. Erase our memories? Yes, it's standard protocol. I mean, you won't be forgetting that you met one another, but your memories will be cut off at a certain point. So, what exactly are we going to remember? Izuku would ask. Well, you'll remember up until the point that you came here, and you'll remember the fight, but we have to erase your mind from being inside of this facility in specific. This facility? Yeah, it's Time Force Protocol. Even though we trust you all greatly, we don't want anyone potentially taking information and doing with it what they will. She was eyeing Frankie, who let's just be honest here, he was thinking about taking some of that future tech and adding it to the Thousand Sunny. So, batch by batch, everyone would have parts of their memories erased, mainly just about the facility and about Time Force and anything of that nature. But other than that though, everyone was relatively peaceful about all of the memory wiping. As they all gathered together in the hall once more, they were going to be saying their goodbyes. They would be going back to the point in time in which they were all taken from their homes in the first place, and, well, their life would continue on from there. Well, I would say I hope I see you all again, but if we do, that means something bad's about to happen, so I think it's probably safe for the best if we all just go back to our own worlds with our own issues, Megumi would throw out. Come on, Fuguroshi, you know you have fun. Almost dying is not fun, Yuji. All the same. But still, I'm happy I got to meet all of you, Izuku would ask out. You're all amazing heroes in your own way, and it was an honor to fight beside all of you. Izuku would bow, and Shinji and a few others, they would bow as well. In the end, they were thrilled that they had gotten a chance to fight together, that they had gotten a chance to be able to work and unite as one. It was amazing. Although now, it seemed as though their journey was going to be coming to an end. However, before it did, Brook, he had something that he wanted to do for everyone. Thankfully, he had a piano guitar, and he figured he could play them a tune. It's not much, but I figure a little melody to send us all off. Wait, you can play music? Shinji would ask. Yes, I can, young man. And I have something that I want to send all of you on our way with. If you don't mind, Miss Jin. Not at all, go ahead. Ah, yes. Thank you. This concludes Power Rangers, Heroes of the Morphing Grid, the movie, Shattered Grid. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, then don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting that's to come out now and in the future. Thank you for being a part of this journey. I couldn't have done it without you. You make the channel grow. You make the core grow. Until we meet again, this is Javon Harrington, signing off, and I'll see you next time.